In today's video, I am going to be setting up the budget section in my FrankenPlanner. So stay tuned. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For those of you that are new, my name is Tracy and I'm a girl with plans. So, I do not extensively budget. I do very minimal. Basically, I just want to stay on top of my finances. That's pretty much all I want to do. I did get into a little bit of cash stuffing, but that is limited to the things that I have to pay cash for. So I cash stuff for my massage tips, for my hair appointments, because I have to pay cash to avoid any fees. And then I have like miscellaneous for like if I go out to social events or something like that. So yeah, that's the only cash stuffing I do. Pretty much I pay by plastic with everything or auto pay. So that's kind of how my budgeting goes. I'm more track my finances, let's say that. But I do create a lot of my own little inserts with the help of Canva. So I'm going to quickly go through how I set it up. I've actually already filled in all of the necessary information, and I feel like that will help a lot. I will say that I'm currently pulling pages from the Happy Planner Budgets Planner. This is an undated budget planner. This is what it looks like. You'll see it when I flip through it. But yeah, this is the only part that I'm using from a planner. Everything else I either created on Microsoft Office or, like I said, on Canva. So I'm going to flip to my budget section. All right, here we go. Now I did a full setup video of this FrankenPlanner setup. I will link that down in the description box in case you're interested. And it looks like one of my tabs has already fell off. What is going on? I can see the little bill sticker there. Oh no, it's not. It's this. It's late, y'all. I need to go to bed. As dirty as this is, I should have seen it, but I couldn't see it. All right, so here we go. I have side tabs somewhere. They're in all different directions because I'm going to be dividing this one section into multiple sections just to make my life easier. I also want to show you guys something. I talked during my setup video about my calendar, and I have been going back and forth about whether or not I wanted to complete my monthly calendar every month, pretty much putting the same stuff in over and over again, or whether or not I wanted to complete an entire calendar for 2025 and then just refer to that every month. Well, I went with the 2025 and here we go. Now, I know it's gold, but I like to use the stickers that I would not want to use elsewhere because this is purely function. So what I did is, you can see I hid the days of the week up here, and then I just put it down here just for some balance. And then I put 1 through 30. This particular set of date stickers did not have a 31, but fortunately for me, I don't have any bills due on the 31st. So it ended up working out. So all I did was I went ahead, went through all of my bills and some of my reoccurring subscriptions that reoccur on a monthly basis, not on an annual basis. They are somewhere else. And I put the bills that are due on that day. There are a few bills that are due, like my trash is due quarterly. So I wrote 3, 6, 9, 12 for March, June. You know, that's how I did that. And the same thing with water. It's due every other month and it starts like 1, 3. So January, March. So that's what I did, just so I have like quick reference. My Flagstop, I have a discount of like half off through March. So I wrote through March. And then over on the sidebar, these are like really important things that I need to keep in mind because it's like large expenses that are coming out for like auto insurance, registration, personal property, but that's a one-time thing. And those are things that I have to pay. So it's not subscriptions again. This is stuff that I have to pay. And then I put a few extra boxes there. I find this is pretty much all I need as far as just a quick glance to see when things are due. Now, like I said, the one thing it is missing is those pesky annual quarterly renewals that hit you every so often. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that. But that's what I did here. And you can see this is the budget planner pages here. What I will say, I'm going to kind of do a little bit of tweaking to some of these. We'll do that in a minute, but we're going to kind of back up a little bit because this is actually going to be... I'm trying to think if this should probably be in the front. So let me pull another. I have so many of these planners here, so I can like literally pick a divider, any divider that I want. I guess we'll just go for the next one in line. And yes, I'm just going to pop this, okay, here. Okay, so there we go. So that way, this will be the first thing you see. I might end up covering this up. I might not. It's really not that important. But I kind of do want this up in the front. All right, so then with that said, the next little plastic divider I'm going to have, which kind of is going to be a little bit blocked by that, is my bills tracker. And this is what I used to create this. But on the back, it also has some, I'm going to be tracking it a little bit differently. So the way I did it is I put stars next to all of the auto pays. There's only one bill that I have to actually go in and pay every month, or every other month in this case. But I put the due date on it. Most of these are like, they're not permanent amounts except for my mortgage. I do need to add that. But everything else, it varies because I usually try to pay my credit cards off in full. I don't need to write my trash, but I'm nervous about writing like certain things. Like I was nervous to even write Verizon yet because I find the first of the year is when they all decide to go up in price. So we shall see. But what I did here is I just wrote the dates that they're due because there's a couple of bills that are not monthly. So that's what I use that for. And then I skipped a space, and this is where I put the ones that are only going to be due once. And one, I'm like, my registration is due this year, but I usually get it for the maximum amount it allows me, whether that be 5 years or I think it's like 4, anywhere between 3 or 5 years. I can't remember what the maximum is. So I won't have to pay it again for at least another 3 or 5 years. And then on the back, I put reoccurring monthly subscriptions, and I put that here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to check them off as I pay them. So this one, I checked everything off when they're actually due, because everything pretty much up here is an expense that is probably not going to go away. These are expenses that could go away. Like Netflix, I can cancel that at any time and then just resubscribe. Flagstop, I'm probably going to cancel that once it runs out. Once the special runs out. Hulu, I'll have until next November because I did the Black Friday special. Hand and Stone, that's another one. I don't know when I'm going to cancel it. So there we go. So I just like having it. And like I said, this really helped me do this, but I can add, and like once I cancel things, like if I cancel one of these, I can put a line through it and things like that. So we have that. So that's my bill tracker. All right. So what is next? What is next? Okay. I do not have a tab for this one, but I am going to put another divider in it. I just need to make another one. And this is going to be my subscriptions. So I created this on Microsoft Office. This one, I think I edited it from Canva. So like the basics were there, but I think I like added another column. And then of course I changed the top name because I can't remember what it was for. Oh, I need to punch this. So all of these sheets that I created myself, what I did was I printed them on 8.5 by 11 sheets of paper, just regular letter size paper. And then I cut them down. But when I created them in Microsoft Office, what I did is I told the computer that my paper was 7 by 9.25. So it printed everything out in the middle. So that way, when I printed the back side, it was in the middle, made it easier to cut. I find that works better. Plus, I make sure that everything, all of my tables are the correct size. Okay. So yeah, I did this. I'm not sure. I might need to tweak this if I do it again. As I was filling it out, I was like, oh, I don't know if I love this or not. But I left space in the middle because I have a gap between January and April. And I'm like, I might sign up for another subscription in between there. So in an effort to try to keep things in some type of chronological order, that's why I have gaps in between that. I actually have another one I need to write in here. See, I just thought about that. I think it's here. I think I have another Notique one. Okay, There we go. Yeah, so that's the whole chronological thing. What I did is I wrote the date that it renews, or I just put the month, which means it probably is going to renew toward the end of the month, but I need to probably cancel it. A lot of those I can cancel like the month prior. So that's why I didn't really put a date. So like February, March, I'll go in February because I'm not sure when my deal runs out. I'll look at the next billing information to see if it's going to be the $13.50 or it's going to go up to $27 because I will pay $13.50 for a car wash for the month, but I don't want to pay $27, which is still not bad, but still I'm cheap. So yeah, that's kind of what that means. Then I did the frequency. So like some of these, basically I get a reoccurring payment every single month. Like Hulu and Disney, it's a monthly payment, but I don't really know that I have quarterlies at the moment, but let's say I signed up for like Archer and Olive. They do quarterly subscription boxes, so they will bill me quarterly. FabFitFun also does quarterly subscriptions. I sign up for the annual. So there are like a lot of these have quarterly options. I sign up for the annual. And then your annual right here. So I checked it if I have an annual, and then I checked if it was auto renew. Most of it is auto renew, which is why they are on here. But I just have that box there anyway. And then I have front and back and a couple of pages for that. So then the next section is my expense section. Now I could put bills there, but I don't think I am. I'm going to go ahead and just put these here. These, I wish I would have done these front and back, but I didn't. So at the end of next year, I'll just create new ones. But this is just to show me my water bill and my electric bill history. And I like this because it does help me kind of guesstimate what my electric bill is going to be like for the winter. What's my electric bill going to be during the summer? Things like that. So I can help maybe if I do want to budget in certain areas, if I have a big expense coming up, that's usually when I do try to budget, then I can look at some of these to kind of see, okay, well, my electric bill is usually pretty high, so maybe I need to cut in some other areas, you know, things like that. So that's the reason why I do this. Water bill probably really isn't as essential for me to do. So when this fills up, I don't know if I'm going to do it, but it's the electric bill I really do need to do. There is another sheet that I have that is in my current planner, and that is my flex spending account. I wouldn't be able to show it anyway because I've already started making tallies because my flex spending runs from July to June. Basically, I put my starting balance at the top, and then every time I use my flex spending credit card, I write that down and then my remaining balance just so I can make sure that I am staying on top of it and making sure I use it. Okay, and then my budget is going to be one of the last things. And then for budget, what I've done is I need to actually start filling this out now, but I have 3. So I guess let me go ahead and punch these 2. I could put this actually in my budget planner, so I won't put that. I'll just put this one in here. So yes, basically I have a divider just for one sheet of paper, but I think it will be easy. We'll see. If not, I can take these out if they're unnecessary. But a lot of times if I just want to go to a certain section, I think these are going to be helpful. We'll see. They don't take up any space. But I created this in Microsoft Office, Microsoft Word. You could tell by all the tables that I made. So basically, if you guys caught any of my monthly reset videos, I did one kind of more in-depth budgeting video. I believe that might have been October. But basically when I actually want to budget, the only way I really do it is I kind of divide into sections. So I have my essential monthly bills. These are things that I have to pay. I guess trash, I could technically cancel that if I want to, but then what am I going to do with my trash? But yeah, so these are things that I have to pay. So we know that that's a given. So that automatically gets deducted from my paycheck when I'm considering my budget. And then we have these other essential expenses. So I put categories on here that are more routine for me. So like I put groceries, gas, Household is kind of like that miscellaneous category, but that will be things like any of your paper products. If it includes like mulch or something like that, I kind of consider that more of an essential expense too. You know, basically things like that. Yeah, I guess mulch isn't really an essential expense, but it kind of is. I don't know. And then like prescriptions over the counter. A lot of times the prescription, like right now, I have that with the over the counter because my prescriptions are covered by my flex spending. So that means it's kind of a zero cost. But over the counter, if I have to go and get like migraine medicine, like, you know, I don't know, Excedrin or something, then that will go there. Car maintenance, that's primarily like oil changes. Yeah, that's going to be your routine expenses. So not your emergency expenses, your routine expenses. And then medical / chiropractor, because I am going to the chiropractor. Again, it's being covered currently by my flex spending, but that may change if I hit that maximum once I spend it all. And then I have my non-essential monthly bills. So right now I've kind of, because I created this myself, it was kind of easy to like pencil in the amounts or the actual title, so I don't have to come in and write it every month. But like my massage, because now I have a massage monthly subscription. Peloton, which I'm kind of teetering on whether or not I should renew. I think I probably will. Hulu, Netflix, Canva, which I don't have Canva at the moment, but I may do that. So I wanted to pencil that in. There's probably a couple of more that I could add. Right now, if we go back to my bills, Flagstop would need to go in there. So let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so Flagstop would go in there. And I think that would be it. Because I have Netflix. So I'm putting the estimate here, then I will come up with the total. And then for other expenses, I have clothes, hair, beauty products, car maintenance, and tips for like massage or anything like that. And then I put AGWP because, you know, sometimes there are expenses that occur with this. So this is just other car maintenance that might come up. So I do like to kind of guesstimate for other things I might need. So that could be like wiper blades, what is it, like the wiper fluid, things of that nature. Again, not emergency, but just other routine like maintenance things that you have to buy for your car. That's what I like to consider there. And then here's the emergency funds. This is where those like car repair, expensive things, car, home, and health. Basically, when it comes to here, I do like to put money aside every single month for it. So basically, I like to ensure that I'm not spending all of the money that I have after you account for my bills. I want to make sure I'm not spending it all, that I'm at least having a little bit that I'm accounting for in case these extra expenses come up. And then I have this potential expense category, which I say is my phantom expenses. And that is craft subscription boxes, beauty subscription boxes, lifestyle subscription boxes, and a girl with plans. This is another one that I like to set money aside for every month, even though I might not spend it, because this isn't something that I buy every month, but I might buy one. Like I might get an Archer and Olive quarterly subscription box. Those are $80 plus shipping, so they're about $90. But if I put $30 a month aside for my craft subscription, then after 3 months, I would have already accrued the $90. So that's kind of what I mean from that. Like beauty subscription, honestly, I'm not going to need that right now because I already have an Allure annual subscription. So I would probably still set money aside for it. But what I would do is that's like $200 annually. So I'll just start setting aside in case I wanted to renew it. So I would just kind of divide the 200 by like 12 months, and then put that there. Lifestyle subscriptions, that's like your FabFitFun. So for that one, I would do the same thing. I know my renewal comes up, I believe I had 2 boxes right now. I'm not going to do that again. I only do one. I give some of the stuff away. It's like my mom or something. But that one, So like by October, I will need to have enough money if I want to renew for that one. And then I have my annual or biannual expenses. So these are those expenses that I need to account for with like a big chunk taken out at once. So like Amazon is like $139. So I have to account for that. Auto insurance. Again, if I do a FFF fund, Les Mills, which is like $90. So it's things like that that I have to think of. And then I add them all up so I can get my total. And I'm adding all of this so I know how much should be coming out of my total monthly expenses. So this is how I figure it. So then I have my paycheck information here, and then I put my savings stuff here. And basically I'm figuring out from that, how much from that. And then I'm going to take all of this information and come up with monthly budgets in regards to crafts. So if this month, if I'm only going to have maybe a $300 surplus, then I need to like divide that between like crafts, dinner with friends, lunches, like extra stuff, and things like that. And I always have like an overage anyway, because like I said, those phantom expenses, I don't have to pay for that stuff. So that's how I budget. All right, so we'll put this goes here. Now, what I may likely do come February. So this is January. So we'll put on here January. What I will likely do for February is just put February on top and keep January in here, because this will be a good reference, because right now I have the estimate in this and the actual in this. So I can see, am I overestimating, am I underestimating where it needs to be. And then I'll just have a thing here for monthly shopping, which is the actual expense sheets. So this all says weekly expenses. I explain during a lot of things, probably during my setup, during my lineup, that I do not do weekly expenses. What I do is I divide these by categories. I don't like set these up way in advance because I don't know what the categories are going to be necessarily. I mean, I know this is going to be essentials, but this one's going to be, so I don't put these on here. This is what I put, is this stuff. But this is a lot of essentials. So usually like right now, what I might do is like groceries and gas will go here, and then I'll have other essentials here. And then over here, I might do non-essentials, and then I might do crafts, and then I don't know, I'm trying to think of a category, maybe travel expenses. So if I'm going on vacation, then and during the month, so if I'm going on vacation in January, which unfortunately I'm not, I will write like travel, because I'm going to be doing a lot of I'm going to have a lot of expenses that even though my travel may have already been paid for, I'm going to have other expenses like eating out and things like that. And that's kind of coming from a different pot of money. So I will have that. Like around the holidays, there was gifts for Black Friday shopping. It was gifts for myself that were not crafts, because I still wanted to keep my crafts separately. So that's how I do that. Now, this particular thing, the way it is lined up, or the way it's categorized, is you have date, expense description, amount, need, and want. The need and want, I don't need that. I don't need that. So what I'm going to do here is, this is where math is going to come in. So like I said, what I try to do is create a budget. I don't have it with me. So I am going to need to put some inserts in here as well. And what I have been using, I have these quad pages that I had been using. I also been using the checklist as well, but I think we'll use the quad. So basically what I'll do here is I'll just pop a few of these into here. So I'm actually probably going to be thinking about my January budget pretty soon. But when I do this, it's going to be for these like non-emergency, like these other expense categories and those like frivolous spending type things. That's kind of what I'm trying to like do that, like extra funds, and budgeting for that. So I'll like budget there. And that's how I'll come up with the money. So then like when I have a craft category, I will have how much I want to spend in crafts. So if I want to spend $75, my plan is to write budget $75. And then here I will start kind of like doing the math. So I will say balance. So I really only need one of these. But we'll see. So we'll just do one of these right now. Well, I went too far over, so we'll just keep going. Okay. All right, I'm not going to get fancy. I could add stickers, but why do that? So this is the first page, right? So we'll say essentials. And we'll say gas and groceries. And the way I usually do it is I put all my groceries down here and then I leave like 3 spaces for gas. I either primarily telework or I work a hybrid schedule. It probably will be more hybrid come the first 2 months of the year, meaning that I will have to go into the office once or twice a week, but I still shouldn't need that much gas in my car. So that's why I don't need that much space. So it leaves all of this for groceries. Oh, it was essentials, gas and groceries. Okay, and then here I will put, we'll just put budgets, even though it's really estimated cost for it. And they do differ based on like gas prices. So like if the gas prices, like right now gas prices are down. So I'm going to be looking at, okay, well right now it's taking me like $25 or less to fill up my tank. So for gas, it should be $75, right? So this should just help me figure out how much I'm under or over in that category. And if I need to adjust it, because if I have to adjust this category, if I have to add more money to this category, then I have to take it from somewhere else essentially. So I have a budget here and then we'll just say balance. That way we'll put the balance here. That way if I have to go over to there, because I write big, then that's how it is. So that's how I'm going to do everything. So then over here, we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to do essentials. And I'm going to do other. And I'm going to do budget. And I'm going to do balance. Okay. Actually, I use all of these pages because why not? And then this we're going to call semi-essentials. And then how many more of these do I have? Okay. And this we're going to do non-essentials. These off the disc, and then there will at least be a little bit straighter of a line. Now, when this planner runs out, I'm just going to probably do this on something like the quad pages because that's all the space I need. So I could do groceries and gas and stuff. But I want to go through my actual planners because this, I would rather go ahead and use this up and then save the quad because I can use that for so many different things. So that's the reason why I'm still doing this. All right, and then here we'll do crafts, and then I'll put AGWP. And then over here, we'll just do miscellaneous/social. Okay, so like those are kind of how I do it every month. Like I said, certain things could change. I could basically I don't need full pages for a lot of this. Like the semi-essentials, I don't need a full page for. I could probably do semi-essentials and social on the same page. But this month I think I'm okay, whereas I don't have any other categories I would need to account for. If for some reason I did, that's when you can just add another page, or I can use this page, or this page because apparently I have multiple pages here. Or maybe that's how it is. Maybe you do have both of these. I don't know. So I can always use that. But y'all, that's my budget setup. I told you it's not like extravagant. It's a lot. It's a lot. I'm glad I did most of this stuff off camera because having to explain it still took a long time. If I had to explain it while writing, it would have taken longer. So I hope this helped you. I know a lot of people are a lot more in depth when they do their budgets. Believe it or not, this is very simplified because I really don't have to come in and do anything to this. I'm not going to have to do anything to this unless I add or remove an expense. Same thing here. Same thing here. So a lot of this stuff that I went over with you, it's like a one and done, and then you just update it as you go. So those are more like FYIs. The same thing for this. This is, like I said, this is probably the only one that's a necessity for me because everything pretty much stays consistent with my water. But again, this is just an FYI for myself. This one is a little bit more time consuming that I have to do at the end of the month, but I do think it is beneficial to kind of for me, this is kind of the start of me trying to budget because like I said, I hadn't really done this until the last quarter of 2024 and I kind of like doing it a little bit more now. So this is Tracy trying to dabble a little bit more into budgeting. So yeah, we have that. And then like we just saw this. Now, if this is like your thing and you want to see more of this, I don't know that I'm going to do a January reset this month just because there's so many setup videos and things like that going on and et cetera, et cetera. So I think what I'm going to probably do is maybe do a February reset. And when I do a February reset, usually what that will be comprised of is kind of going over my monthly budget in a very abbreviated version. So pretty much it's me having most of this stuff already filled out and then filling in this. For those frivolous expenses and kind of budgeting for those frivolous expenses, hoping to keep that short. And then I like update my planner, like if I want to change out the cover or something like that, and then maybe go over goals. So that's kind of what those monthly reset videos are. So yeah, I think that's what it is. I don't think I'm going to do a standalone budget video. We'll see. Probably not, but there you have it. I hope this was informative. I hope this was helpful. Like I said, some of these things I did create on Canva. On Microsoft Office, but you could probably get something similar on Canva. Maybe not something this condensed or this specific. But like I said, I did Microsoft Word, but you can probably do something similar with Google Docs. I haven't really used Google Docs, but I'm sure it's very similar. So I'm assuming you could do something similar. But Canva, there are also a lot of options if you are not a paid member. So I highly recommend checking it out and just typing in like budget tracker, budget, bill tracker, things like that, and see what comes up and if anything could possibly interest you. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you enjoyed it, press that like button. If you have yet to subscribe, I hope you would also consider subscribing. All right. I hope you all have a good rest of your day, evening, or night. Until next time, bye.